Stephen, clearly been a bit of a tough week. How's it been for everyone?
Yeah, no, look, certainly the start of the week was filled with a mixture of emotions, kind of shock and obviously disappointment in how everything kind of unfolded. But now, coming to the end of it, we've got an exciting game against a top opposition and hopefully look to get a positive result.
I was one of the senior players. Have you had to do a bit of work with the dressing room?
No, look, I think we're all experienced enough. Most players now have experienced managers moving on, albeit the circumstances around it are a wee bit different. But look, I think the ones that need spoke to are spoke to, but there's nothing really. We're a professional bunch. We work hard, and as I said, hopefully be ready for Sunday.
Have you spoken to Stuart as well?
Spoke to him briefly on the phone. Obviously, just you thank him for everything he'd done for me personally. I was in a bit of a tough point in my career when he came in. Things just hadn't really worked out for me, and he came in and kind of gave me a fair crack at the whip, which is all I'd ask, and I can't thank him enough for that. It's not something you get all the time in football, and I can only really thank him for that.
Did you realise how tough it had been for him over the past few weeks?
No, I hadn't. Obviously we hear the noise. When you're on the pitch you maybe don't quite hear as much. You're kind of focusing on the game naturally, but frustrating. I do accept that with this it happens at most clubs, and it is the minority. The vast majority of fans in football are great, but there is always the people that kind of spoil it for the rest. It comes down to all the sectarianism, the racism and the abuse. I think it's always the minority, and sadly sometimes they spoil it for the rest.
You're just saying this thing about the circumstances around it was slightly different than other managers leaving, resigning, getting sacked. Is that what shocked you most, surprised you most about the whole thing?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think because we're, as I said, we're sitting in a good position in the league. We have had a lot of injuries, so to be sitting in that position with like every time you felt you were getting somebody back, somebody else would break down. I was involved in that myself, and it's pretty frustrating. But look, that is part and parcel of football. Obviously, we did not expect those kind of things to be affecting the manager, which they weren't. But they obviously affect style of play. When you're losing some of your better players, Lennon Miller obviously affects it. Style of play, Callum Slattery coming back, we all knew he was out for a while, but even we thought we were getting him back, and then he's sick for the weekend. So these kind of things kind of continually been snowballing since really the start of the season. So that's just a frustration. That's a freak event. But look, we're the players that are fit are excited for the game against Celtic. Obviously, I know they've got a few doubts and a few injuries from the game the other night. So no, look, excited for the game ahead, and hopefully it will be a positive result and one that everyone can get behind.
You say it was the minority of fans, seems to be the general consensus. What would be your message to the whole fan base of Motherwell?
Well, look, we thank everyone for their support. We thank for turning out. You obviously have every right to give your opinion, but just be mindful when you're giving it that there is families and round about, and they maybe don't sign up for the abuse that the players and the managers accept, and referees, by the way, we can't miss them out. They get hurled abuse, so maybe sometimes take a step back and say and appreciate that they're in that position. But again, it's not my place to tell people what to do. But hopefully I'm involved on Sunday and I have a good game.
Is the abuse getting worse?
I don't know. I don't know. I know personally from my experience, a lot of abuse has got better. I know the sectarian stuff has dialed right down. Used to get it quite a lot when I first started. So I'm really proud of that, pleased with that. It's something society moving forward, and we can always strive for more, and we should always strive for more. So no, look, that side of it that hurts me has got better, and hopefully we can get better all round.
Seeing this will be your fifth manager working this since you got here at Motherwell. I mean, how key is, I suppose, consistency and sort of a leader at the club, and how important is that for you guys in the dressing room as well?
Oh, look, of course, your manager needs to be your focal point. He needs to be the person that we lean on as well. It's whenever you've got things going on in your family or your life, it's important that we have a manager we can trust and supports us, and that's certainly something that the manager did. So we hope that we can replace and get someone very similar. It's at any club, whenever there's change, it becomes a wee bit up in the air. Everyone's in different positions. What we've got now versus previously, we've got Brian's in, a calm, experienced head, hopefully can can be pushing things along in a positive direction. And we've also got a fortunate opportunity that doesn't always happen, that after the game on Sunday we've got a free week, which then maybe allows no kind of knee-jerk reaction. We can take our time and hopefully get the right man in for the job and hopefully bring success.
I know you said you spoke about a few of the boys that maybe spoke to the guys like Dominic Thompson who have been here for less than a week. And
It's probably not ideal, yeah.
I mean, you had to like speak to the guys in particular just to sort of assure them.
I sent them all back. I said it's fine. Look, it was your fault. No, look, I think look at we are, especially with the circumstances around it, I don't think it's something anyone's feeling any kind of bitterness towards. I think it's just bad timing for them, and they'll be fine. They've all been training hard, working hard with the game. Some of them with the game, they needed some. So again, everyone will be itching to get on the park on Sunday.
Stephen, does a lot of the shock come from the fact that Stuart was a very strong character? As the players, you see that every day?
Yeah, no, look, I think so. But we all have weaknesses, if you want to call it that. We all have your kryptonite, and I think when your family's involved, your kids are involved, and getting upset, I think that's going to take a toll. I think every single person with family, even mums and dads or brothers and sisters, if it's starting to affect them, obviously you maybe need to think about it. I know, for example, my brother works long hours. These things have effects on your kids, so there's nothing's easy in life, and it's and when it gets too far, it's up to the individuals involved to make a decision, and the manager has, and we stand by what he decided.
How do you deal with it when you used to get abused?
Probably better asking my wife that. Probably a bit snappier. I know certainly when I'm not playing, I'm a bit grumpier about the house. But no, look, I think the abuse is, like, I've had eggs thrown at my window. It's, I say part and parcel. I don't like saying that because it shouldn't be the case. But again, I signed up for it, and my kids are too young to really understand it, and my wife doesn't really care, so she doesn't like football. So that's one of the perks. So I just try and work hard and hopefully get out the other end. I know that in football, if you then start to perform well or better, that it goes away and it becomes positive. So that's where you can't really. I try not to get bogged down on the negatives when they come.
But you shouldn't have to sign up for something as bad as that, should you?
No, it's not. Again, it's not. I did. So I knew it was worse when I first started. So as I said, I'm trying to focus on the positives and that things have got better for me in football. So I signed up for it. I'm at my wee boys football and sat in Wednesday night, first game, fun fours, and the parents are getting animated at the side. So there's passion involved that then can sometimes spill over to being a bit too far. But again, we are fortunate that we're in a position, but we do also want to try and strive and kind of get things better for everyone.
You mentioned your sectarianism that you have to deal with. Was that earlier on in your career?
Yeah, it's still occasionally now, but not. It's certainly when I first started playing at a couple of venues, you'd get it. Parkhead as well, just in case anybody's thinking that's not just one side, but it was a number of stadiums, and thankfully since I've got older, it's got quieter. I actually recall a story where Rory McKenzie was telling us that playing the game and boy was hurling abuse, and one of the fans stepped in and said that's too far, which is exactly what needs to happen when it's too far and crosses lines. Self-policing, I think, is the best policy, and hopefully that can help the stewards and help the police when that kind of thing happens. So that was a real positive story about it. Like, society is changing, but sometimes you want things to change a wee bit quicker, and it's trying to be patient, but at the same time try and help push it along.
Moving back to Sunday, Stephen, just quite simply, how big a challenge is this?
No, massive. Look, I watched the game the other night. Celtic showing their quality, showing they're going toe to toe with a top Premiership side with all the riches. And for us, we want to do that. We want to go toe to toe with the best and the best two teams in Scotland, the Celtic and Rangers. We want to go toe to toe with them and compete. And hopefully that's something we can do. We've been working hard, as I said. We've got the full group together after there was a game on Tuesday. So hopefully hard session today, and then nice and light, ready for Sunday.